On the cold nights in Elsinore, Denmark, a ghost was seen wandering on the ramparts of Elsinore Castle. The guards were frightened. They all thought the ghost resembled their deceased king. They convinced a nobleman named Horatio to join them one night to see the ghost. When Horatio saw it, he decided to tell Prince Hamlet. Prince Hamlet was the son of the deceased King of Denmark. He was deeply troubled by his father's sudden death. He was filled with grief and upset that his uncle, Claudius, had taken the throne and married his mother, Gertrude. Hamlet could not accept Claudius as king and was angry about his mother's quick remarriage. On being informed by Horatio about his father's ghost, Hamlet went out one night to meet him. When the ghost emerged, it beckoned Hamlet to follow it away from the others. Despite warnings from Horatio and the gods not to go, fearing it might lead him to harm, Hamlet decided to follow, driven by a mix of curiosity, desperation, and a sense of duty. The ghost led him to a more secluded spot where they could speak privately. In seclusion, the ghost revealed its true identity as the spirit of King Hamlet, Hamlet's father. The ghost told Hamlet that it was doomed to walk the night and endure suffering in purgatory because it had died without having a chance to repent for its sins. It then revealed the shocking truth that King Hamlet's death was not a natural one, but a murder. The ghost explained that Claudius, Hamlet's uncle and now king, had killed him by pouring poison into his ear while he slept in his orchard. The ghost urged Hamlet to avenge its foul and most unnatural murder, but warned him not to harm his mother, Queen Gertrude, and instead leave her fate to heaven. It instructed Hamlet to remember it and to seek justice for this act of treachery. Overwhelmed with emotion, Hamlet was left in shock, anger, and sorrow, swearing to carry out the ghost's wishes. He vowed to remember the ghost's words and to focus entirely on seeking revenge against Claudius. Before departing, the ghost reiterated its call for Hamlet to act quickly and not allow Claudius's crime to remain unpunished. As time passed, Hamlet was more and more conflicted. He was unsure if the ghost was telling the truth or if it was a trick by an evil spirit. To find out, he decided to pretend to be mad, using this disguise to observe everyone around him and uncover the truth about Claudius. His feigned madness caused concern for Polonius, the king's advisor, who thought Hamlet's behavior was due to his love for Polonius's daughter, Ophelia, like he was love-struck or something of that sort. Claudius and Gertrude were not satisfied with this explanation, so they summoned Hamlet's friends, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, to find out what was wrong. Polonius and Claudius spied on Hamlet and Ophelia during their meeting. In the past, Hamlet had shown affection for Ophelia with several letters, but lately he started treating her harshly. It could be because he was pretending to be mad, or perhaps this behavior was out of genuine frustration. Ophelia came to return the gifts Hamlet had given her. Hamlet sounded angry and told Ophelia to go to a nunnery, claiming that women were untrustworthy, maybe because he felt deceived by women, particularly his mother, Gertrude, and transferred some of that anger onto Ophelia. After this angry exchange between them, Hamlet and Ophelia broke up. Claudius couldn't make any sense of this erratic behavior, so he grew more suspicious of Hamlet and started planning to get rid of him. Meanwhile, Hamlet arranged for a group of actors perform a play called The Murder of Gonzago, which mirrors the way Claudius murdered King Hamlet. He wanted to see Claudius's reaction. He hoped that if Claudius showed guilt, he could finally take action against him. That night, during the play, Claudius reacted strongly to the scene that mirrored the murder. He left the room, confirming his guilt in Hamlet's eyes. However, Gertrude was upset and embarrassed by Hamlet's behavior and called him to her room. On his way to his mother's room, Hamlet found Claudius in the chapel. He was alone in the chapel, attempting to pray and seeking forgiveness for the murder of his brother, King Hamlet. He admitted to his guilt in a soliloquy, expressing the weight of his crime, but also revealed that he struggled to truly repent because he still enjoyed the rewards of his sin, the throne and the queen. As Claudius tried to pray, Hamlet entered, unseen, and considered killing him right then. Hamlet drew his sword and was ready to strike, but he hesitated. He reasoned that if he killed Claudius while he was praying, Claudius might go to heaven. This would be a reward, not a punishment. Hamlet decided that he wanted Claudius to suffer in the afterlife, as his father was suffering in purgatory. Therefore, he chose to wait for a better opportunity, one where Claudius was engaged in sinful behavior, ensuring his soul would be damned. Ironically, Claudius's prayers were not genuine. He confessed in the soliloquy that he could not repent sincerely because he still enjoyed the benefits of his crime. Thus, Hamlet's hesitation was based on a misunderstanding of Claudius's state. Claudius's final line, "My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go," revealed that his prayer was ineffective, and Hamlet missed his chance to exact revenge. Hamlet walked out of the chapel and started on his way to his mother Gertrude's room. Claudius had instructed his advisor Polonius to hide behind a tapestry in Gertrude's chamber to eavesdrop on their conversation. As Hamlet walked in, Gertrude started scolding Hamlet for his recent behavior, but Hamlet quickly turned the situation around, chastising her for marrying Claudius so soon after King Hamlet's death. As their conversation grew more heated, Hamlet confronted her with the moral corruption of her actions. He harshly criticized her marriage to Claudius, calling it sinful and accusing her of betraying his father's memory. During the argument, Gertrude became frightened by Hamlet's intense words and actions. She called for help, and Polonius, hidden behind the tapestry, echoed her cry. Thinking that Claudius was the one hiding behind the curtain, Hamlet impulsively drew his sword and stabbed through the tapestry, killing Polonius. After this shocking act, Hamlet continued to confront Gertrude. He used this moment to reveal his disgust at her actions, holding up pictures of King Hamlet and Claudius, contrasting the noble nature of his father with the deceitful and treacherous nature of Claudius. Hamlet's words forced Gertrude to confront the gravity of her actions, and she began to feel genuine guilt and shame. During this intense moment, the ghost of King Hamlet appeared, visible only to Hamlet. The ghost reminded him of his mission to avenge his father and urged him not to forget his purpose. Gertrude, unable to see the ghost, thought Hamlet had lost his mind as he spoke to what appeared to be empty air. Before leaving, Hamlet warned his mother to stay away from Claudius. Claudius continued to feel threatened and unsafe after Polonius's death. He finally ordered for Hamlet to be sent away to England, accompanied by Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. He sent a secret letter to the King of England asking for Hamlet's execution. However, on the way to England, Hamlet found out about the letter. To save himself, Hamlet forged the letter to the King of England, ordering execution of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern instead. Hamlet managed to escape from England during a pirate attack and reversed his journey back to Denmark. Meanwhile, late Polonius's son, Laertes, returned from France to avenge his father's death. He learned her sister Ophelia had gone mad with grief due to her father's death and rejection by Hamlet. She had drowned herself in the river. Ophelia drowned, and her funeral was held. Hamlet returned to Denmark to find the gravediggers at work. He saw the skull of Yorick, his father's jester, and reflected on death. When he realized Ophelia was being buried, He rushed in and jumped into her grave and declared that he loved her, claiming his love was greater than that of 40,000 brothers. This dramatic outburst suggests that, despite his earlier behavior, he did care for Ophelia deeply, and her death brought forth his suppressed emotions. Perhaps he distanced himself from Ophelia to carry on his mission to avenge the death of his father. Laertes was at the funeral too, mourning deeply for the loss of his sister. Claudius took this opportunity to manipulate Laertes into believing that Hamlet was to blame for both Polonius's and Ophelia's death. With Hamlet back at Denmark after his escape from England, Claudius orchestrated a duel between Hamlet and Laertes as a plot to kill Hamlet. He conspired with Laertes to use the duel as a means of avenging his father, Polonius's death. Claudius planned to have Laertes use a poisoned sword in the fencing match and additionally prepared a poisoned cup of wine as a backup. In case Hamlet won the duel, he intended to congratulate him with the poisoned wine that would end his life. Back at the castle, Hamlet was with his friend Horatio, talking about his narrow escape from being executed in England. That is when a courtier brought news of Laertes' challenge to a duel. Hamlet accepted the duel, but Horatio was suspicious about a foul play behind it. At this time, Hamlet had gone through so much ups and downs in life that he felt indifferent to his fate and left it to chance. As the duel commenced, Hamlet scored the first 2 hits. Claudius offered him the poisoned wine to celebrate, but Hamlet declined, wanting to continue the match. Gertrude, unaware of the poison, took the cup and drank from it before Claudius could stop her. As the duel continued, Laertes too wounded Hamlet with the poisoned sword, but they accidentally exchanged swords. Later, Hamlet wounded Laertes as well, this time with the poisoned sword. Soon the poison started taking effect. Gertrude fell and died. Laertes too realized his end was near, feeling the effect of poison. As Laertes was dying, he revealed Claudius's plot to Hamlet. Enraged, Hamlet finally killed Claudius and poisoned him the way he had poisoned his father. As Hamlet lay dying, he heard Fortinbras's army approaching. He told Horatio that Fortinbras should be the next king of Denmark. With his last breath, he asked Horatio to share what transpired. Hamlet died, and Horatio mourned him. Fortinbras arrived with ambassadors from England, who reported that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern were dead. Horatio began to tell Hamlet's tale, and Fortinbras ordered Hamlet's body to be honored and displayed like a fallen soldier. The play delves into the struggle between action and inaction, as Hamlet contemplates life, death, and the moral implications of revenge.